Hey, I'm Sophie, and I'm here to share Ella's story with you. It's a wild one, trust me. It was my birthday, and my family showed up at my place, but the door was locked. "Where are you?" Mom texted. I shot back, away from my toxic family, and sent them a video from an anonymous source. My phone blew up with calls and texts after that. Let me introduce myself. I'm Ella, and I was gearing up for my 30th birthday. I had big plans to celebrate at my house, the one I bought 2 years ago. It's not fancy, but it's mine, and I'm proud of it. I'm a programmer at a big software company. The pay's great, but I don't splurge on myself. Just the house, really. Most of my money goes elsewhere. I'm the oldest of 3 kids. My sister Sophie is 26, and my brother Jake is 24. Growing up, my parents always said being the oldest came with responsibilities. They expected me to help with my siblings and pitch in at home. At 16, I got my first job to support the family. "Ella, you're so smart and capable," Mom would say. "Your siblings look up to you. Set a good example." Dad would agree, saying, "We're counting on you to keep this family together." So I did. I worked through high school and earned a full college scholarship. Even then, I hustled for extra cash. I teamed up with a classmate for freelance programming gigs. Every cent I earned went to my parents. Years later, I'm still doing it. I cover my parents' mortgage. I help Sophie with her apartment rent. I pay Jake's rent, too. It eats up most of my salary, but my parents brag about how I hold the family together. That feels good. Sophie's dating a guy named Marcus. He's all right. Jake's got a girlfriend, Lisa, who I really like. She's sweet and always checks in on me when we meet. For my birthday, I wanted something special but low-key. I'm not into big parties or crowds. I like small gatherings with the people I love. So, I invited everyone to my place. I ordered from a great restaurant, Mom's favorite chicken parmesan, Dad's lasagna, salmon for Sophie since she loves it, and steak for Jake. I wanted it to be perfect. I ordered a decadent chocolate cake for dessert. The delivery was scheduled for Saturday afternoon, just before everyone arrived at 5 p.m. I was thrilled. It had been months since the whole family was together. I spent the week scrubbing the house, making sure every detail was perfect. I bought new plates and glasses. I even picked out flowers for the dining room table. I wanted everything to feel special. 2 days before my birthday, I was checking emails when something stood out. An unfamiliar address sent a message titled, "For Ella." The sender was anonymous. I nearly deleted it, assuming it was spam, but curiosity got the better of me. The email was brief. "Watch this video and see how your family really feels about you." A video file was attached. My pulse quickened. Who would send this? What did it mean about my family? I hesitated, staring at the screen, then clicked play. The video was grainy, like it was filmed in secret, but I could make out the scene. It was my family, Mom, Dad, Sophie, and Jake, sitting around Sophie's kitchen table. Beer bottles and wine glasses cluttered the surface. They were all laughing. I turned up the volume and leaned in. Mom's words hit like a punch. "You know what's funny?" she said, sipping her wine. "We only really like Ella when she sends us money." Dad chuckled, raising his beer. "Yeah, the more cash she sends, the more we like her." They all burst into laughter, like it was a hilarious joke. My hands trembled. Sophie wiped tears from her eyes, still laughing. "God, you guys are awful." But honestly, it's hilarious watching her try to dress up. She has no style. She looks so pathetic in those outfits. My stomach sank. I glanced at my simple sweater and jeans. Was this really what they thought of me? Jake smirked, shaking his head. "I can't believe she's hosting her birthday at home instead of taking us somewhere fancy. What's the point of her money if she doesn't spend it on us?" "She's probably just scared of crowds," Sophie said, smirking. "Too afraid to show her face in public." They all laughed again. Tears stung my eyes. They knew I didn't like crowds. I thought they understood me. I thought they cared. I couldn't tear my eyes from the screen. My family kept laughing and drinking, oblivious to being recorded. Each word deepened the betrayal. I chugged my beer and shook my head. The best part? We don't even need to buy her fancy gifts. Honestly, I don't want to give her anything. Exactly, Sophie chimed in. She barely sends enough money as it is. I need more for my makeup and new tech. She covers rent and maybe tosses me 100 or two. It's not enough. My jaw hit the floor. 100 or two. I was sending her nearly $1,000 a month on top of rent. What was she talking about? Mom nodded, all serious, like we were plotting a business deal. We need to hint she should step up for her family. Maybe guilt her into doing more. Dad raised his bottle. To our little ATM. They clinked their drinks and burst out laughing. My heart stopped. ATM. That's all I was to them. A cash machine. The video cut off. I stared at the blank screen, frozen. My whole world, my family, my life, my place in it, felt like a lie. I don't know who sent me that video, but I'm thankful. Without it, I'd still believe my family loved me. Instead, I saw the truth. They didn't care about me. They cared about my money. They took everything I gave and mocked me behind my back. I got angrier the more I thought about it. All those years working since I was 16. All those college nights coding instead of partying. All the things I skipped for myself to support them. And this is how they saw me. Pathetic. Tasteless. Too shy to show my face in public. They mocked my love for quiet family nights over big parties. They knew I wasn't outgoing and laughed about it. My hands shook with fury. I wanted them to pay. I wanted them to regret every cruel word. I grabbed my phone and called my boss, David. Hey, Ella, what's up? He answered after 2 rings. Hi, David. Can I take 2 weeks off at my own expense? I just wrapped the Morrison project, and nothing urgent is on my plate. 2 weeks unpaid? That's not like you. Everything okay? I just need some time for personal stuff. Sure thing. You've been killing it lately. Take the time you need. Thanks, David. I owe you one. As soon as I hung up, I opened my laptop and started looking at flights. Hawaii. I'd always wanted to go to Hawaii, but never did because I was too busy sending money to my family. Well, not anymore. I found a flight leaving at 4 a.m. on my birthday. Perfect timing. Then I booked the most expensive hotel I could find in Honolulu. The penthouse suite cost more than I usually spend on myself in 6 months, but I didn't care. I was done being cheap with myself. Next, I called the restaurant where I'd ordered all that food for tomorrow. Hi, this is Ella Martinez. I placed a large catering order for pickup tomorrow. Yes, Ms. Martinez. Everything is ready to go. The pickup time is 4 p.m., correct? Actually, I need to cancel the order. Can I get my money back? I'm sorry, but we've already purchased all the ingredients and started preparation. We can't refund the deposit. I thought for a second. Okay, then please prepare everything as planned. But instead of me picking it up, I want you to deliver it all to the downtown homeless shelter. The address is 412 Main Street. There was a pause. You want us to deliver an $800 catering order to a homeless shelter? Yes. Can you do that? Well, I suppose so. That's very generous of you. Great. Thanks. I hung up, feeling slightly better. At least someone would enjoy the food I'd ordered for my ungrateful family. But I wasn't done. I called a locksmith. Hi, I need someone to come change all the locks on my house tomorrow morning. It's an emergency. We can have someone there by 8 a.m. What's the address? I gave him my information and scheduled the appointment. My parents had a spare key to my house. They wouldn't be getting in tomorrow. That evening, I started packing for Hawaii. I threw clothes into my suitcase, not really caring what I brought. I was too angry to think straight. Around 9 p.m., my phone rang. It was Mom. Hi, sweetheart, she said in that fake, cheerful voice I now realized she always used with me. I just wanted to check that everything is ready for tomorrow. We're all so excited. I could barely contain my laughter. Oh yes, Mom. I've organized everything. I can't wait to see you all. Wonderful. We'll be there at 5 p.m. sharp. Dad is bringing wine, and Sophie said she's making her famous brownies. That sounds perfect, Mom. I'll see you tomorrow. Love you, honey. Bye, Mom. I hung up and immediately started laughing. Not happy laughter, the kind of laugh you do when you're so angry you might lose your mind. They had no idea what was coming. I spent the rest of the evening double-checking my plans. Flight at 4 a.m., hotel reservation confirmed, locks being changed at 8 a.m., food going to the homeless shelter, My family showing up at 5 p.m. to an empty house with new locks. I set 3 alarms for 2 a.m. and went to bed. Tomorrow was going to be the best birthday of my life. My alarms went off at 2 a.m. I barely slept anyway. I was too excited about what was going to happen today. I got dressed quickly, grabbed my suitcase, and called an Uber to the airport. The ride was quiet. The driver didn't try to make small talk, which was perfect. I stared out the window at the empty streets and felt more alive than I had in years. For the first time in my adult life, I was doing something completely for myself. At the airport, I checked in and went through security. My flight was on time. As I sat in the waiting area, I kept thinking about my family getting ready for my birthday party. They probably hadn't even bought me real gifts. Jake had said he didn't want to give me anything at all. The flight to Hawaii was long, but I didn't mind. I watched movies, ate the airplane food, and tried not to think about what was happening back home. Well, maybe I thought about it a little. And maybe I smiled every time I did. When I landed in Honolulu, the warm air hit my face and I felt like crying. But good crying, not the horrible crying from watching that video. I took a taxi to the hotel, and when I walked into the lobby, my jaw dropped. Everything was marble and gold. There were huge flower arrangements everywhere. The ceiling was so high I had to crane my neck to see it. This was the fanciest place I'd ever been in my life. "Welcome to the Royal Hawaiian Resort," the desk clerk said with a bright smile. "You must be Ms. Martinez. We have the penthouse suite ready for you." "Thank you. And since it's your birthday, we have a complimentary bottle of our finest champagne waiting in your room." The suite was incredible. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the ocean, a living room bigger than my entire downstairs, a bedroom with a bed so big I could have fit my whole family on it. Not that I wanted to. The champagne was sitting on ice on the coffee table with a card that said, "Happy Birthday" in fancy writing. I poured myself a glass and walked out onto the balcony. The view was amazing. Blue water as far as I could see, people on the beach looking like tiny dots. I raised my glass to myself. "Happy 30th birthday, Ella. Here's to finally doing something for yourself." I spent the day exploring the hotel and the beach. I got a massage at the spa. I ate lunch at the fancy restaurant downstairs and ordered whatever I wanted without looking at the prices. I bought a ridiculously expensive swimsuit at the hotel gift shop just because I liked it. Around noon, I started getting text messages from friends and coworkers wishing me happy birthday. Real messages from people who actually cared about me. It felt good to read them, but the messages I was really waiting for would come later. At exactly 5 p.m., my phone started ringing. "Mom." I let it go to voicemail. Then Dad called. Voicemail. Then Jake, then Sophie. I ignored them all. After about 10 minutes, the calls stopped and the text messages started. "Mom, Ella, we're at your house, but no one is answering the door. Where are you?" "Dad, your mother and I are standing on your front lawn with gifts." "What's going on?" "Sophie, this isn't funny, Ella. We drove all the way over here." "Jake, where the hell are you?" "We're all here waiting." I was lying on my hotel bed, reading these messages and laughing so hard I could barely breathe. I could picture them standing outside my house, confused and frustrated. Serves them right. The messages kept coming for the next hour. They got more and more desperate. "Mom, Ella, this is a really bad joke. Please tell us where you are." "Dad, we're worried about you. Just let us know you're safe." "Sophie, I made brownies for nothing. This is so stupid." "Jake, if this is some kind of game, it's not funny." Finally, I couldn't take it anymore. I had to let them know I knew the truth. I opened my phone and sent Mom the video that the anonymous person had sent me. Just the video, no words. Then I typed, "I'm away from my toxic family. I don't want to see any of you anymore." My phone went silent for exactly 37 minutes. I know because I was watching the clock. They were probably all huddled together, trying to figure out how to explain themselves. Finally, Mom texted back, "Ella, that video isn't what it looks like. We were just joking around. We had too much to drink. We need to meet and talk about this." I typed back, "I don't want to see you anymore." Then I did something I'd been wanting to do for years, but never had the courage. I opened my banking app and canceled every single automatic transfer I had set up, The mortgage payment to my parents, Sophie's rent money, Jake's rent money, the extra spending money I sent each of them every month, gone. I sent one final text to Mom. I'm also stopping all financial support starting today. Don't contact me again. Then I turned off my phone completely. For the next 6 days, I didn't turn it on once. I spent my time on the beach, by the pool, eating amazing food and shopping. I bought clothes that I actually liked instead of just buying whatever was cheapest. I got my hair done at a fancy salon. I felt like a completely different person. Every morning, I woke up in that beautiful hotel room and remembered that I didn't have to send money to anyone. I didn't have to worry about whether my family had enough. I didn't have to sacrifice what I wanted for people who secretly hated me. On my last day in Hawaii, I finally turned my phone back on. I had 43 missed calls and 68 text messages. I deleted them all without reading them. Whatever they had to say, I didn't want to hear it. The flight home felt different than the flight there. I was nervous about what I might find when I got back. But I was also stronger. I'd had 7 days to think about everything, and I knew I'd made the right choice. When I got home, my house looked exactly the same. The locksmith had done a good job. There were no signs that anyone had tried to break in. I unpacked my suitcase and looked through all the stuff I bought myself, real stuff that I'd chosen because I wanted it, not because it was practical or cheap. That evening, just as I was settling in to watch TV, I heard knocking on my front door. Then voices. "Ella, we know you're in there. It was Dad. Please, honey, just talk to us." Mom sounded like she'd been crying. "Come on, Ella. This is ridiculous." That was Sophie. "We're sorry, okay? We were just joking around." Jake's voice. I walked to the door but didn't open it. "I told you I don't want to see any of you. If you don't leave right now, I'm calling the police." "Ella, please." Mom was definitely crying now. "We're sorry. We were wrong. We need you. You need my money," I said through the door. "That's not the same thing." "That's not true," Dad shouted. "We love you." "No, you don't. I heard what you really think of me. Now leave." I walked away from the door and turned my music up as loud as it would go. I could still hear them knocking and shouting, but I ignored it. After about an hour, they finally gave up and left. 2 weeks after my family showed up at my door, I got a phone call from Lisa, Jake's girlfriend. I actually liked Lisa. She was always kind to me and seemed genuine, unlike the rest of my family. "Hi, Ella. Could we meet for coffee? I need to talk to you about something important." I was curious. "Sure, Lisa. Is everything okay? I'd rather talk in person. How about that cafe on 5th Street tomorrow at 2 p.m.? "Okay, I'll be there." The next day, I arrived at the cafe early and got us a quiet table in the corner. When Lisa walked in, she looked nervous and upset. She sat down across from me and didn't even order anything. "Ella, I have something to tell you, and I don't know how you're going to react. I'm the one who sent you that video." My mouth fell open. "You? How did you even get it?" "I was at Sophie's apartment that night. I went to use the bathroom, and when I came back, they were all sitting around the kitchen table talking about you. I heard what they were saying, and I couldn't believe it. So, I started recording with my phone." I stared at her. "Why did you send it to me?" "Because what they were saying was horrible. Ella, I've watched how hard you work to help your family. I've seen how much money you send them. And then to hear them laughing at you, calling you pathetic, making fun of the way you dress, saying you're just an ATM to them." She shook her head. "It made me sick." "Did Jake know you were recording?" "No. None of them knew. I sent it to you anonymously because I thought you deserved to know the truth about how they really feel." I felt tears forming in my eyes, but they were good tears. "Thank you, Lisa. That was the best thing anyone has ever done for me." "There's something else, Ella. I broke up with Jake yesterday. After I saw what happened with you, I started paying attention to how he treated me. Really paying attention. And I realized he's just like the rest of your family. He's selfish, and he only cares about what people can do for him. When he found out you cut off the money and he couldn't afford his apartment anymore, he got so angry. Not sad, not worried about you, just angry that his free ride was over." I reached across the table and squeezed her hand. "I'm sorry you had to go through that. Don't be sorry. You opened my eyes. If you hadn't cut them off, I might have married him and spent years dealing with his selfishness. We talked for another hour. Lisa told me that my family had been trying to reach me through mutual friends. I told her about my trip to Hawaii and how good it felt to finally do something for myself. I'm proud of you, Ella. It took real courage to walk away from them. After Lisa left, I felt lighter somehow. Knowing that someone had cared enough about me to expose my family's lies made me feel less alone. Over the next few months, my family kept trying to contact me. They would wait for me outside my office building and try to corner me in the parking lot. Ella, please, just 5 minutes, Mom would beg. We can't pay the mortgage without you, Dad would say desperately. I had to move back in with Mom and Dad, Sophie would whine. My life is ruined. This is all your fault, Jake would shout angrily. We're family. You're supposed to help us. But I ignored all of them every single time. I would walk past them like they didn't exist and get in my car. Sometimes, security from my building would have to escort me to make sure they didn't follow me. My boss, David, noticed what was happening and offered to let me work from home some days if I needed to avoid them. My coworkers were supportive too. I hadn't told them the whole story, just that I was having family problems, but they could see how upset these confrontations made me. About 6 months after my birthday, I found out through some mutual friends what had happened to my family. Without my money, they couldn't keep up with their bills. Sophie's boyfriend, Marcus, had broken up with her when he found out she couldn't split the rent on their apartment anymore. She had to move back in with my parents. Jake lost his apartment, too, and also moved back home. The 4 of them were now all living together in my parents' house. And my parents had to get second jobs to pay the mortgage without my help. I should have felt bad for them. That's what the old Ella would have done. The old Ella would have felt guilty and probably started sending money again. But the new Ella, the one who had seen that video and knew the truth, didn't feel sorry for them at all. They made their choice when they mocked me and used me. They thought I'd never catch on. They figured I was too weak, too desperate for their approval to ever push back. They were so wrong. I'm saving more money than ever before. For the first time, my bank account's actually growing, not shrinking every month. I treat myself to nice clothes I love. I dine out, ordering whatever catches my eye. I take weekend trips to places I've always dreamed of visiting. Best of all, I'm genuinely happy. It's a joy I haven't felt since childhood. I'm also house hunting across town, somewhere my family won't easily find me. I'm ready for a fresh start, free from their shadows. I found the perfect house. It's smaller than my current place, but in a much better neighborhood. It has a spacious kitchen and a gorgeous backyard with fruit trees. Walking through it with the realtor, I could already see myself living there, peaceful, with no one banging on my door, demanding money or guilting me into fixing their problems. I made an offer that day, and it was accepted. Signing the paperwork for my new home, I thought about that video Lisa sent me. It was the worst and best thing to ever happen to me. It hurt because it showed me the people I loved didn't truly love me back. But it was freeing, breaking me out of a life of being used and taken for granted. My family probably thinks I'll crawl back someday. They likely believe I can't make it without their fake love and approval. They're wrong about that, too. I'm done being their cash machine. I'm through sacrificing everything for people who secretly resent me. I'm finished pretending their toxic behavior is okay or that I owe them anything. I'm finally free, and I'm never going back.